La da 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 da. Da 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 da. Let's try this again. Little part 2. Yeah, let's do a part 2. I figured it'd be fun to do a part 2, so why not? We'll do a part 2. And we'll start all over again. Sorry folks if you're watching this. I guess I accidentally shut off the stream on YouTube's end, not OBS. So, yeah, oopsies. Should be back in order. Unless it was something else that shut me down. I don't know. But here we are, proper. We'll call it part 2. Actually, I should probably delete the first one. Nobody's going to watch that. It's just like, what, 10 minutes? What is this? Let me actually go over there and get rid of it. Me and my silliness. Let's get rid of it. Oops, whoops, whoops. Let's delete that one. Okay. Let's get the thumbnail different here. There we go. Save. Okay, there we go. We're back again. There. Let me actually rename it. Let's get the part 2 out of there. Since I just got rid of the other one. I don't need that. Save. Alright, everything's back in order. Sorry, folks. I accidentally shut her down. What else is new? I don't know. Now it's just me floating my mouse over the end stream button on YouTube's browser. I don't know, you know how sensitive they can be. One little tap or touch or something, and all of a sudden it thinks I shut her down. It thinks I hit the button, which I think is what happened. Because it went off while I was doing just that. So I will start over. I was just in the middle of describing my chat. Welcome to the Hobby Chat with Fritz, folks. Episode 16, I believe. I'll be here for a couple hours, thereabouts, doing some painting, chatting, see who joins us. Sometimes I have guests, most of the time I don't. Most of the folks join me here in the YouTube chatteroonie, like my good friend, Doug. Right, Douglas? Good to hear from you, my friend. Once again, I'll ask, what's going on? How you been? How have you been, my friend? Friend, how you doing? What's happening? Oh, you're building another piece of terrain. Oh, that's great, man. You're really getting into the terrain lately, aren't you? Uh-oh, I hear one of my cats upchucking. Great. love to do that right where I walk. In my bare feet. What's the weather like down there, Doug? Imagine it's pretty warm. I am loving it. Okay, give me a second here. Some focus painting, and I already got paint where I shouldn't. I gotta fix that real quick before it dries. There we go. I'm actually wiping it on my shirt. Alright, he's good. He's done. 17th taken out today. My sister was here today talking to me. Her daughter's fiance lives with him down there. She was talking about today. She said to me that, oh, he just had 6 teeth taken out today. So it's funny that you say that you've taken 7 teeth out in May. He's got the same kind of situation. I gotta cringe when I hear this from people, because that's gotta be brutal. You're getting them all taken out, aren't you, Doug? Heck with them, right? Once I get going on the terrain, I can't stop. Beautiful so far. We've had a lot of rain this spring. Yeah, we did. I feel his pain. Yeah, it makes me cringe too. I think this year with rain, I think early spring, I think we got our rain the last couple years. Spring has been pretty heavy in the rain department early in spring. But this year was different. Most of the rain was hitting us at the end of spring. We got a lot. Usually some big downpours too, big heavy ones. But I really think this year's spring was definitely far better in terms of dryness and sunshine and warmth compared to the last, I think, 4 years now. At least where I'm at. And you're only, 3 hours away from me? So you're right down yonder along the coast. So the weather's similar, although you're right next to the ocean. So I count this as a far better spring than we've had in a long time. As soon as June hits, boom, summer begins. Now we're getting the really warm air. Humidity is starting to hit us. Because that's our summers here, right? Hot and humid. It gets dry. We're just going right into it. You don't have any teeth left, so that's it. That's the last ones. Well, I guess I should say congrats, maybe? Maybe? You're probably happy they're out of there. Oh, man. See, we got Canadian wildfires going on again. Oh, go away. Total cost will be over 11K. Well, that's just not right. That is not right. You got insurance to take care of that, I'm sure. What is happening all of a sudden? I'm being bombarded. Oh, let me close this. Gotta get a new phone. Clear all, please. Yeah, that includes the dentures. Dentures. God. May get a big old gold tooth. Right? He's spending enough as it is, he should have a gold one. March Attack. March Attack. Ooh, I remember those. Yeah, you should be able to swing a battle with March Attack. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Oh, I can't imagine. It's been so long ago, but yet it wasn't. It's going back 2014, 15, 16, something like that. I had fun with those rules. Pretty complete system. What is it, 2 bases per battalion? I think it's 2 bases per battalion. The skirmisher rules are pretty cool. They're do they even represent them with models? I think they do. But it's this one big thing. Yeah, it's really good. I had fun with those. You could really fight some big battles, some unit dense tabletop battles if you wanted to. The line of sight rules, the way elevations work in the game are pretty old school, so you got to be ready for that. It's a little bit much for modern gamers, but you'd be able to handle it. That's a really cool game. March Attack. I had a few battles with that early on in my Napoleonic journey. Those rules are heavily based on Empire. I think most Napoleonic rules are. The good ones, anyway. My opinion. I can't wait till you play it, man. It's a good game. Finally, you're playing something I've played. Did you get a hard copy or did you get the PDF? I only ever had the PDF. Now that I think about it, I actually never had a copy, a hard copy. I never even printed it out, I don't think either. Or did I? Can't imagine not printing it out. I'm not a big fan of digital books, just sitting there trying to play a game with a digital book. I think I did print them out, now that I think about it. Yeah. Not even sure you can get a hard copy these days. Well, that's good. You're going to have some fun with that. Yeah, my niece's fiance, they gotta be in their 20s. Can you imagine? 6 teeth removed at that age? I mean, is that like an athlete or something in combat sports? You know, how is that happening? That's crazy. Right here. I'll be refreshing a lot of the rules, referring to a lot of the rules, so I need a paper copy. Copyright via Lulu. Yeah, there you go. That's the best way. I agree. Especially those rules. I mean, it's not a complicated game at all, but you know, it's not a simple one either. You want to definitely have a hard copy to reference as you play instead of using your phone or your tablet, which is silliness. Everybody's outside enjoying the weather today, Doug. Looks like it's going to be just me and you. I don't know. I don't think. He's not an athletic dude. I don't think he is. I only met him once. He's right down the road from me. I've only met him once. Yeah, it's too bad. He's too young for that. I always took care of my teeth. I Still do. I've had some issues in my lifetime, but nothing major. Still got all mine. Except for a few in the back there, because sometimes they just gotta go. There, it's done. It's another one. But I learned early on in my teenage years to take care of your freaking teeth. Brushing my teeth after every meal, that kind of thing. So that's one of those good habits I adopted many years ago as a teenager. And it pays off. It's because my sister was going to school as a dental hygienist. She was a dental hygienist. She worked as one and she taught it in college. So having that person living in the house with you, that's kind of like, oh boy, better take care of your teeth. She'd always make sure there was toothbrushes in the house, new ones, and all this crap. You don't want to have to go to the dentist again, so take care of them. So I did. Not going through that every freaking year. A lot of people don't take care of their teeth, which is a shame. I don't understand that. It's like your teeth are so freaking important, both visually and just for eating. You know, they're so important, so fragile, yet they're the least taken care of part of ourselves. That's crazy. I mean, go out in the woods and clean your teeth with some pine cones, man. There's no excuses here. True. Survival mode. Like even now, drinking coffee. I can't go off and brush my teeth, but I put a lot of creamers and stuff in my coffee, so it drives me crazy. So after every swig, I'm washing my mouth out with water. Every time. Until I can brush my teeth. The sugar, I don't know what you wrote there. Chat Ninja put asterisks up, but I know what you mean. All the crap I consumed didn't help. Yeah. I imagine you're pretty health-minded nowadays. Loaded with sugar. Think of these things when you're younger. You live it big. You'll worry about it when you get old. Problem is, when you get old, getting old happens quick. You don't realize it until you're there, though. once you're there, that's when you realize, holy smokes, that came fast. What happened? How did I get here? It's crazy. Blink of an eye. I think it's a real blessing to get up into the age range we're at and even older. So many of my friends and people I went to school with are gone. I think it's great being alive at this stage. Darn it, did I get white on the gun? I did. Yeah, there's difficulty in walking too. You exercise? Do you go for walks? You broke your leg. Is there any kind of regime that you follow for your exercise? Because you gotta keep active, man. You gotta keep active. You know this. You gotta keep on moving. Because when you stop, you die. Motion is the key. Sitting around all the time in front of a TV or a freaking computer like I'm doing right now is not healthy. It's not good. It's going to cause all kinds of problems in the immediate future. At least the immediate future for me. You just got to be up and at 'em, moving around, doing something. Get the blood flowing. Muscles working. Not overdoing it. Just keeping yourself going at a good steady pace. Do you wonders. It's when you stop moving, you get sick, you get ill, you get injured easy. It's hard to frickin' get out of bed and walk. Period. So yeah. Motion. I get a few miles in walking, though, every day. Do you actually go out of your way to walk? I mean, walk around the block or something, do a little nature park walking, or are you just talking in general with working and, oh, I gotta go to the store, I gotta cross the street, I gotta go this way and that way, just, out of necessity, you're doing a lot of motion. Or you set aside time just to freaking walk. And make it an enjoyable walk at that. What are you looking at, Walter? I see you. I finished this? I don't think. chest exposed. It'll be easy to paint. The church was in 10 mil. Windmill's 25. You're using different scales? That's odd. Shouldn't they all be 15 mil? I know some people like to use smaller scale stuff. I don't do that. I think that's silly. What are you doing with the 25 millimeter one? It's freaking pretty big for your scale. I don't know, Doug. I don't know, Doug. We're losing you. This near the camera. Excellent. Excellent. They're in different scales, but I'll go with it. They won't be in Miniature Wargame Magazine anytime soon. I'll probably put the Windmill at the farthest point of the board, or make a copy of Windmill in 15 mil. How did you end up buying different scales? Is that intentional, or did you just get a deal on these that you couldn't refuse? Why did you go with different scales? Was there a reason for that? And yeah, who cares? You know, it doesn't matter. I'll switch brushes and use my micro brush so I can put little flecks of white in the eye sockets. So when I put red on those eye sockets, it'll stand out a little more. Right? We all know that trick. No, the price was right. I know that figures. I know that in figures you want to stay in the same scale. Price was right. Well, there you go. I've used HO scale, or 20 mil, I guess you could call it. HO scale terrain from train sets I've used with my 15 mil. They're obviously out of scale, but you'd never know it. It's pretty close. I use train tracks and stuff. Buildings, maybe? Buildings fit in that scale. That's not too far off. Not too far off at all. Another thing is, when I get into 25 mil 19th century wars, the windmill would be perfect. Oh, so you've got plans. Okay, now it makes sense. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. 19th century. What do you mean by that? I take it post-Napoleonic. You talking about Franco-Prussian stuff? Unification Deutschland? Austro-Prussian? Conflicts? Is that what we're talking about? Is that what you're thinking of doing? That's something I'd like to do myself. That's a very interesting period. Excuse me. What are those plans, Doug? I'm new to this idea. From you? Franco-Prussian and Crimean. Okay. There you go. That's what I thought. Now that's going to be interesting. Not that Napoleonics isn't interesting. I think all conflicts are interesting. You don't see a lot of gamers doing Franco-Prussian even. I mean, you see it more these days, but Still, it's not a big popular thing. I think the uniforms are pretty cool. I have a soft spot myself for colonial, Victorian colonial. Let me move this camera. I'm always painting over here. Colonial era, like Gunga Din stuff, Northwest Frontier. I've always been interested in that, but I've never really done much with it. I've done some painting. Sudan stuff. That's something I'd like to do. But who knows? I'm a lot more focused. Kind of like you. You only do Napoleonics. Now you're going to do something new after all these years. I'm kind of the same way. I don't do a lot of different things. I got a lot of stuff on my shelf that I paint, but, you know, not all those are going to see action on a tabletop. Because I just like to paint. Perfect. These look awesome. Put little white flecks for their eyes. They're gonna be red. Along with the terrain, I picked up a copy of Valor and Glory, 19th Century Wars. Okay, there you go. There you go. Not really. I do commissions. I'm semi-retired, remember? But I'm only ever going to do small commissions. At my leisure. Because I just can't do it. I've got some commissions right now that I got to get to. For my good friend Kevin, for instance. But these are big commissions, so I'm kind of taking my time with them. No rush anyway, but we'll see. I'll get around to it. I don't want to just have it linger in here and do nothing. I got to figure it out. I've been so out of the loop in my own hobby life that I need to spend some time in this and get my chutzpah back for the hobby. To be able to paint anything at all, period. I'm just so drained from 5 years of doing this for other people, and I love it, but it's half the hobby, and it was becoming more stressful over the years because I'm getting backed up and backlogged, and it's turning into a nightmare. So, yeah, semi-retired. So if you ever need anything, Doug, yeah, I'm open to it. Want a unit done or something, I'd be glad to do it. That goes for anybody else out there. Still, the address is still up on my screen there. You could see it, so I'm still doing commissions. Painting commissions, fortunebrush@yahoo.com. Next I could do the weapons. Do a little dry brushing. get white paint on his thumb? That was my imagination. Huh. Yeah, it has to be fun. Perhaps when I get into that new period, I'll send you a battalion. Yeah, it's perfect. I'd be glad to do that. Glad to do that. Nice change of pace. That would be fun too, because that era is interesting, like I said. Wonderful uniforms. And I'll send you some stuff along with it too. Maybe some terrain. Print up some buildings for you. Probably in 15 mil. 28 mil are pretty big. Or whatever. We'll think of something. Do 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 do. Get you all squared away. That reminds me, I've got to send out stuff. I keep putting it off. French or Prussians? Oh, I don't mind. I don't French maybe. French would be awesome. The Prussians are a bit drab, but interesting nonetheless. I wouldn't mind either one. Whatever you want to look spectacular and stand out noteworthy on the tabletop, that's what you send me. That's what you send me. And I'll make them so beautiful. I'll do the flags and everything. Yeah, I did the flags for your cavalry, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Whole 9 yards. Let's do a little highlighting here. I just got a purity seal on a couple of them on the weapon here. I gotta paint them. So what I do with this highlight on the black guns is I give them a dry brush of a medium gray, very lightly, just picking out the edges, and then I'll let that dry, and then I'll go back over with an off-white and pick out the edges again, being very careful because we don't want the weapons to become gray. We want them to look black. So you got to be a little careful. We just want them to stand out. That's all. Just a little stand outage. And then what I'll do is I'll pick out the metallic parts. Even worn parts with some metallic silver or steel. Nothing too bright. That'll give it a nice metallic look. So yeah, that's how I do it. And it's pretty effective. It's simple and straightforward. I tried using speed paints with this, but I didn't have a suitable color for it. I know Army Painter makes a speed paint for black, which I hope to get and try out. I don't have it, but that sounds like it might work. So just dry brush your weapons that are to be black with white, then a little gray, or gray and then a little white over a black undercoat, and then apply the speed paint, the black speed paint over top of that. And that should be it. That should make the weapons stand out with highlights and shade. So I am going to try that in the future when I get the paint. Oops, that's a little too much. But this works just as well. Perfect. Let that dry and we'll go over it with some off-white. That's it. Rocking and roll off. Maybe French zouaves. Oh boy, yeah, go for it. Set them. I've done zouaves before. They're pantaloons. Whatever you want to look good. You know, I'll put some special effort into it for you. Can't get more colorful than that. Look like circus performers. What, the zouaves? With their striped pants? Yeah, they can, can't they? Looking flashy and looking good was all the thing back then. You know that. Okay, the dry brush is to dull the area, right? Is to dull? You don't want to dull it. Dry brushing is typically used for highlighting things, making them stand out, not to dull. Washes are used to kind of tone things down or provide shading. Dry brushing is typically for highlighting and making things stand out. For instance, the edges of weapons, all the hard edges. Those hard edges are what's going to stand out on a weapon. So you want them to be highlighted. And one effective way to do that is to dry brush the highlight. So only those edges are actually picking up on the paint. That's what dry brushing is all about. So hence, I'm using a gray highlight over a black undercoat. And on top of that, I'm going to highlight with some off-white. So I'm layering the paint here. The gray just starts to bring it out, and then the off-white really makes it pop. Gotta be careful though. If you're catching more than those edges, you're starting to dull the actual color that you're working with. So yeah, you don't want to dull anything. That happens when you're too heavy-handed with the brush, the dry brush. Too much paint on the dry brush, for instance. You got to get the right amount on there. And that takes experience. You got to learn what's right. So that's what I'm doing. Just to let you know, I've got to go to Kensington in a while to pick up a prescription. That's okay. You got to do what you got to do. Pick up your prescriptions, man. Don't want to be getting sick without the goods. So I'll let these dry for a little bit. I don't know, can you see the highlights a little bit on the weapons? Barely. But I want them to be black. That's the thing. No red casings on these bolters. This guy has purity seals hanging off his bolter. I gotta paint them last. I'll do that before we're all done. Basically, I'll paint the purity seal in off-white over black, and then we'll give it a speed paint color of pallid bone. Works really good. Is that what I use? Pallid bone? With speed paints? I think it is. And it looks really good. There's different colors you can use. I just been using pallid bone for my little parchment purity seals. And we'll dry brush the bases too. With some gray, some chestnut, a little off-white to make the stones and rubble stand out. I like to use a ink. Is it ink? Yeah, it's an ink. I use some inks on the bases just to provide like some alternate colors to the ground and rubble, so it isn't just gray or mud. Looks like spilled chemicals or something. That's all we need. Leave this out because I need to paint the purity seals on that guy. Actually, I didn't do any purity seals on these. I mean, look. He's got them on his weapon. This guy's got one on his leg. They all should. This guy's got one on his waist. Looks like I painted it brown to begin with. It's okay. This guy's on his waist. Again, painted brown already. This guy on his leg. Again, it's just a ribbon with some red wax on it. You can see it there barely. I'm out of focus here close up, but it's on his leg there. Right there. You can see the brown strip. Purity seals. So I'm just going to paint off-white over that. I'll do that now. And I'm going to paint the red wax part white as well, because I'm going to use speed paint, blood red on that. Mark of Purity. Yeah. It's got all kinds of stuff written on it. Litanies and whatever. Vows and who knows. It's grim dark, man. It's grim dark. Of ribbons hanging. He's the veteran sergeant. Did you ever read Robert E. Howard stuff? Doug? I like to read. Robert E. Howard's my favorite author. Him and Lovecraft. Whoops. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. That right there's part of the ribbon, or it's gonna be. It is now. See, I can't get a visual on this. This guy's got the ribbons going, baby. He's got the ribbons. Again, I put speed paint over these. Palette bone and blood red. Works. Looks good. Speed paintage. Okay, let's paint the little wax areas, the little wax seal. Leaving the black, some of the black showing. So we get some really nice deep shading going on. Stand out. Is that a ribbon? I can't see properly. Hold on. I don't think so. It's the gun. The bolt gun. Fantasy. Make sure he's got no more on him somewhere. Nope. Name doesn't ring a bell. Robert E. Howard, that is. Miss James from Australia. Miss James? You mean Mr. James? Miss James from Australia. Oh, he's fine. Going on some hard times recently, but he's weathering the storm as we all do. But him and Ree are doing fantastic. Last I heard, which was recently, he's applying for some new jobs so he can get some extra income flowing in. I think he's clearing out his hobby nest once again, as we all do occasionally. Making way for some new stuff, focusing on skirmish games. I think he's focused on Kings of War. Not really a skirmish game, but he loves his fantasy. You look up Robert E. Howard if you want to come to an understanding of fantasy and science fiction. Robert E. Howard is a good one to read. This is back in the 1930s when he was writing his stuff, so it's very much the birth of fantasy writing. It's commonly called sword and sorcery. I highly recommend Robert E. Howard's writings and any of his stories, whether it's Conan, which he created. Conan the Barbarian, he created that. I'm a big fan of all his Conan the Barbarian writings. They're all short stories, not like these big, huge novels. These are short stories, so it's easy to read. You pick up compilations on Amazon of his writings. I highly recommend it. It'll give you a better understanding of fantasy or sword and sorcery at its birth. You might like it. It's good to stretch your mind and exercise your brain and explore new genres. So that's what I recommend. Especially if you're a historical mindset. Something besides J.R.R. Tolkien. Yep, you got it. Robert E. Howard is an amazing writer. He died young. Living down Texas way. But he had a knack for being very much capable of describing action and motion with words in a way that's very vivid and immersive. I think it was one of his great talents was his ability to paint pictures with words, particularly action sequences. He was very good at it. Like a battle, you know. really pops out in your mind. Okay, let's do some more purities. There was a vlog I was watching the other day where the guy was talking about a haunted house in Philly. Yeah? I'm sure Philly's got a lot of them. I'm sure there's a lot in Philly. Okay, there we go. That's that one. Mink. Another purity seal in the leg. A lady actually lives in the house and says she hears the ghosts, the spirits from time to time. The house goes back to the 1790s. I bet it does. There's a lot of old houses in Philly. As you can imagine, it's Philly. Philadelphia. Yeah, does it freak you out? You had to do a little spirit exploring. Get your cell phone working and do some exploring with some friends and some spots that you're allowed to go to, and do some walkthroughs with the lights low and all that goodness. You might pick up some things. Some unexplainables. Hi, James. Doug was looking for you. I think he accidentally called you Miss James. I don't know why he did that. Our good friend Doug. He's asking about you. You gotta stop being so flamboyant, James. You're being misgendered. Anyway, let's move on. Would I spend the night there? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? I already know there's spirits and stuff. I don't need to dance with the devil, per se. But back in the day when I was doing ghost hunting, yeah, I definitely would. I was totally into that. It's nowadays, it's like, why would I want to tease things. They don't have to. Play with fire, right? Play with fire. I'm sure it would be interesting. I mean, I'd do it, but why would I want to do that this day and age? No, I missed James. Oh, okay, that's what it meant. Miss James, you got to use some punctuation in there. Still, Miss James. You need to put a I in there. That's what you need. I miss James. Otherwise, no matter what you do, it looks like Miss James. Comma from Australia. That doesn't help. So, yeah, you got to put that I in there. Subject, action. Got to do complete sentences here. I would spend a night there. It would be interesting. You should. Get in with a group of ghost hunters, ghost stampers, or whatever. I'm sure there's lots down in Philly. Make a nice little hobby for you. Get to know some folks. Shifting gears. Got my Stargrave crew yesterday. That was quick. Congrats on that. I'd spend a night there. Let's eat Grandma versus let's eat Grandma. Punctuation saves lives. It does. Poor Grandma. I'm working on purity seals. This batch of 5. Vicratio. Gotta go, says Doug. Alright, Doug. Get your prescription filled. I'll talk to you soon, my friend. Be safe. Take care of yourself. I'm alive, sleepy, sore, looking for a job, painting little men. You didn't get your job? I thought you... No luck on that yet? Some of my music friends want me to run a sci-fi RPG. Some of my music friends want me to run a sci-fi RPG. What's that about? Is that legit? You got some gamer friends there from the music days? Oh, I'd jump on that. I would jump all over that. A chance to do some gaming with some friends. Use it as a gateway. Still looking for the jobbage? My light's on. I'd jump on it, man. Oh, you want to run a sci-fi? Want me to run a sci-fi RPG, do you? I gotcha. Challenge accepted. Just start looking. Grab Traveler or something. Just start doing it. Do it. It's a great gateway. You never know, man. Could use your miniatures in the games. Yeah, I'd be all over that. I'm going to be playing here at the house with Jesse and Jake, and he's got some work buddies that are interested in what we do here. There's a guy there at work that loves my videos, my RPG and battle reports. They'll sit there and watch my shit on YouTube at work. He likes my style, so he's be wanting to come over and play some games. So I'm jumping on that. It's one reason I'm doing this Tales of the Valiant thing. It's another reason anyway. Looking for the right balance of working from home. But we will get there. Yes, you will. You're taking total party skills because it's easy for them to learn. Grab it, do it. Actually, you do have it. I saw that. Total party skills? Skills? Is it skills or kills? I don't follow that guy's stuff. But I know who you're talking about. Everybody's a publisher these days. Total party skills. Yeah, I got it. Collection looking healthy again, so focused on painting and playing next. There you go. Definitely. Playing is what inspires you to paint. Kind of feeds on itself. You know this. But you got to do it. You got to start playing some games. And that'll get you motivated to paint more. Like I'm in that cycle right now with my 40K. These aren't done painted, but I've been playing games with them. Now they're back on the tables. I do a little bit more detail on them. And it's the way I do it. And it's awesome because it keeps feeding itself. This motivation cycle of paint, play, paint, play, paint, play. Don't do it all at once. Do it in stages. And play. And then paint some more and then play. Got his purity seals on there. Guys are looking menacing. The thing about this is, never mind, I won't say that. It's being anal about details. I think he lost his marbles, but he's a clever writer. Yeah, he's one of those marble rattlers for sure. Messages here. As much as I like to diss 40K, man, good sci-fi minis outside of it are rarer than I thought. I agree. I see a lot of really quality stuff with STL prints. More than I do anything else. There's some really marvelous stuff outside of 40K stuff, or mimicking 40K stuff. Stuff that's better than Games Workshop stuff. A lot of erotic stuff. Perfect for dark elf witches, Slaanesh type. You know, I love that stuff, as you know. Like Raging Heroes, they do STLs and they print stuff for you as well, and you can buy their models, and their models are spectacular. A little bit risque, they like the lady erotic stuff, but man, it's perfect. If you want that realistic grimdark stuff. I don't know. That's not really realistic, is it? It's more of a fanciful way of looking at it, isn't it? Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me. Yeah, go figure. I wish people would stop breaking down. Stop talking about politics and culture war. Do the game thing, man. Make some games. Talk about your games. Nobody wants to hear about your political views. I don't. If you want to lose a customer, that's one way to do it. What's the matter with people? I'm not going to talk about this. Let me see. LOL. Kyle says, I wish I just got home, got my box of miniatures. He just ordered some miniatures. I don't know if he told you. I just got home, got my box, but don't have the energy to start that project. Okay. So Kyle's been doing a little painting. You could see what he's been doing on Discord, but he just bought what did he buy? What did he buy? Some Fireforge Dusvolt Foot Knights coming in. So he's got that today. He's got some Foot Knights from Fireforge Miniatures. I guess he's going to be painting. I don't know why he's doing those. I thought it was all about Lord of the Rings, which are actually a different scale, not just a different genre. Kinda. Yeah, that's what he's doing. One of these days I'll pull him in here with me. It's all so impermanent compared to good memories. Gaming, politicians come and go. Yeah, he bought some Fireforge, guys. Yeah, that's what it was. Fireforge. They're pretty nice. That'll be a fun paint for him. Me and Doug are talking about his next project that he's going to be working on. Doug Noble was just in here. You missed him. And he asked me if I'm still doing commissions, which I am. I'm semi-retired, as you know. And we're talking about his project. He's going to send some troops my way to paint for him. And it's Franco-Prussian War goodness in 28 mil. This is his new project he's going to be doing. 28 mil Franco-Prussian War stuff. Which is pretty amazing, actually. I didn't expect him to go 28 mil. But he's going to send me, I guess he's going to send me some French zouaves or something. I told him, send me something that really you want to stand out and be the focal point. Something more challenging to paint, for instance. Send it to me. French zouaves, perfect. Their little pantaloons and stripes and all that goodness, and I'll do them up good. And yeah, so that'll be. I'd love to see some mid 18th century or mid 19th century. What am I thinking? European conflicts going on, but he wants to do that, and he wants to do Crimean War. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. Yeah, it is. I doubt I'll ever do anything like that, but it'd be nice to paint them, you know, so if he does allow me the privilege of painting a battalion for him, that would be amazing. And I'd love to see some battles of that, because I doubt I'll ever do it. The Avi. Piety seals. Oh, it's on his waist. Whoops, careful. Let's not get carried away here. Jesse moves in here in July, by the way. He comes over on the weekends, and Jake sometimes. Gripes he's going to be here all the time pretty soon, so in July. I'll have to integrate him into our chats when he's home. So hopefully you guys will see more of Jesse and Jake come July. That'll be nice. I actually get to play more games in person now these days because of it. So that's cool. He wants to start building up his golden boys for 40k again. He's got a lot of them, actually. You know, the Adeptus Custodes. He wants to give him a shot in the game. I'm not looking forward to that myself. Bunch of freaking superheroes. But he's looking at some models he wants to paint for him and expand. I keep asking him, start thinking, you want to get a codex for one of these armies you got here. Which one is it going to be? We'll start building it up. So he's thinking those guys. It's so simple for me. It's just Dark Angels and Sisters. I say that, but I'm really tempted by the Slaanesh Chaos myself. That would be so nice. Take advantage of some of these STL files and get some really groovy models on the table. There's some good proxy models for the Golden Boys too that I could get in print for them. Really nice stuff. And Sisters of Silence. So I think that's the route we're going to go with that. He wants to do Drakari too for some reason. For some reason. Anyway. Hi Iron Man, long time no see. Mike a little quiet. That's me. I'm getting soft spoken again. Testaroonies. go to my mixer. Maybe my mic on that is too low. Let me turn this all the way up and see. Google, OBS, OBS. No, they're all pretty freaking high. I'd have to go into my mic settings in the computer and double check it and make sure it's not playing games with me again. Seems okay. Well, or I could just turn up this. How about that? Tiddly-dee, tiddly-da, tiddly-doo. Mr. Rambunctious has arrived. I start talking soft, that's why. You can hear my computer breathing when I turn the gain up. I don't like to do that. Let's do another Puritized Seal. Ribbons. It's a beautiful day here, Armin. Oh. I'm made for this type of weather. Born and raised here, but I don't know. I think if I ever do get the chance, I will move. I don't know if that'll ever happen. I think I would. Florida, Texas, Arizona. Probably Arizona because that's close to Texas. And let's face it, Florida's full of alligators. Like I said, I'm not sure that'll ever happen. Maybe do some prolonged visits with friends or something. You know, stay till they kick me out, kind of thing. Live down there with Byron in his Jeep. He would. He'd take me in. He'd love that. Rosemary might not be. She'd get sick of me pretty quick, I think. Maybe not. Maybe not. I think I got one more. Just Vasevich. Is it too loud? Let me turn it down. I don't like it that high. Let's put it where it belongs. I was just talking a little soft. You know me. I'm a soft talker. I've been feeding my dog chicken drumsticks. She only had one left this morning. Told my mom that the dog was on her last leg. Ha 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 ha. Warm here, but a bit windy. Not too much wind here, but just beautiful, beautiful weather here, the kind you look forward to in spring or early summer. I think it was 79. Warm in the sunlight, but shade is a wonderful experience. We will have to do an old gamer's home somewhere. We'll have to do an old gamer's home somewhere. Most Floridians prefer gators over palmetto bugs. I'd be one of those guys that gets eaten or attacked by a gator. If I lived down there, I'd be one of them. Because I'm always off in the wilderness, in the woods and the swamps. I'd be wandering around. Probably get lost, consumed. Can't help myself. Of course, they wander around people's backyards and stuff. They're everywhere. Gators. Gotta watch them y'all gators. Iron Man, I have more birds in my yard this year, just like years ago. I loved it. I let a bunch of the yard go wild as an experiment. Did you? As an experiment. My front yard, it was an experiment. Went over a year and a half, at least a year, with no mowing. So yeah, it got pretty wild. I actually got a chance to mow it over the weekend. Well, the neighbors get upset at me. We're country folk over here, but still. What a difference getting that lawn mowed, baby. I'm telling you. So yeah, I did that. The field's grown over, though. I tried to get to it in the spring when it's not blooming and blossoming with all the weeds. But it's too late to kind of go in there and hook it out. It's a lot of work now. I have to wait till fall. But I got the yard down there mowed. I thought I'd be able to go in there with the Skag, the 4-foot walk behind. But he told me the tires are gone on them. They need new tires. It needs new tires. So we got to get new tires on the walk behind. If we get that going, forget it. That'll take a field, no problem. That's all right though. We'll get there. Never rush. Do you get a Iron Man? I get a lot of birds. Everything comes around my yard. Ravens, crows, blue jays, sparrows, robins, cardinals. Even some birds I don't even know what they are. Beautiful birds. Build the nests. And hummingbirds. We got lots of hummingbirds. I was going to ask you, do you get hummingbirds where you're at? Hanging out, chilling? They'll fly right close to your face and just hover there. And then they're gone. They love to come around and go for the little plants and citrus. So they come around a lot. How come we don't get the little crown thingies in the chat? What's the little crown thingies? What's the little crown thingies? Little crown thingies? Little crown thingies. Little crown thingies? You'll have to explain a little bit. muted. Damn it. Santa's working on the purity seals here. Got them all done now. On these 5. I got 5 more intercessors, which I'll hit in the next session. These guys here, I'm going to put a wash, not a wash, I'm going to use the speed paint on the parchment part of their purity seals. It's a speed paint. I like pallid bone on it. It looks good for the parchment. And I'll also put a strong tone wash on their chest. Those little winged skulls on their chest. I'll do that too before I'm done here. There's some touching up I could do on part of their weapons here that I might do as well. These are looking good though. Got the weapons highlighted. Need some metallic highlights now and they'll be finished. Yeah, so much better now. Get a little more color for the battlefield. Jesse told me, "Oh, I love your Dark Angels." He's never said that to me. He told me that over the weekend. I got a compliment. I'm only half done. I love them. They're great. At least they look good. They get their asses kicked when I play them. Camera's looking over there. Prices are down. Yeah, just look at the price of eggs. Then you'll know what the groceries are at. Eggs are finally below $4 now. Which is nice. $8:05. Sundown. Let's take a peek. Well, it's still light out there. Yeah, that is pretty good. 22 cents an egg. Pallid bone. See, I need some strong tone. I'll put that on the chest. And I need some pallid bone. I'll put that on the purity seals. I should put blood red on the purity seals too and finish that. I don't know why I'm not doing it. Just want to make sure that white is really dry, man. Really dry. Return of the Dead. What is this? Is there an RPG called Return of the Living Dead? I'm looking at my Foundry thing on Discord. Let's actually share it and take a look at it together. I should hotkey these things so I don't have to search for them. Discord screen? Is that what I want? Yeah, that's what I want. Look. Let's check this out. This looks interesting. Face the return of the living dead in Evil Geniuses Games' latest Kickstarter. Never heard of that company. Anybody know about Evil Genius Games? The folks at Evil Genius Games have launched the Kickstarter for the Return of the Living Dead game, built on the Everyday Heroes system. Okay. With support from Foundry. The iconic 1985 film Return of the Living Dead was instrumental in defining the zombie genre. Evil Genius Games' officially licensed tabletop role-playing game based on the Everyday Heroes system celebrates the 40th anniversary of the Return of the Living Dead film franchise and provides endless adventure across 4 decades of trioxin-fueled havoc. This book provides everything you need to recreate the frightful events of the 1969 film and after, including the new Living Dead Origin, 3 new classes, a host of zombie stat blocks, and of course we provide stat blocks for all the movie protagonists: Tarman, Trash, Julie Walker, and Riverman. 126-page source book for the cinematic supplement. New rules for zombification and the 2,4,5 trioxin that causes it. 3 new classes and a new origin, Living Dead. 4 new backgrounds, 6 new professions, host of zombie stat blocks, new equipment designed to battle the undead, special zombie types including the Tarman, split dogs, half corpses, and more. So there it is. Nice artwork, nice cover. Do 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 do. Infinity Space Opera Tabletop RPG. Built on 5e. Okay. So that's what that is. Combat Zone. Happened to my Spotify. Fantasy. Oh, that's what you got. I thought you got the sci-fi one. Oh, what's this? Humble Bundle. Deadlands. Savage Worlds version. Stop it, Walter. Enough. Anyway, let's look at the Discord server, some of the stuff on there. this is dry now. Let's do some washing. I'm learning that with these speed paints, when you shake them, this is a problem I'm finding with speed paints, is that when you shake them, it comes out of the tube and just floods this whole little cap. So when you take it off, there's, at least for me anyway, it's just paint is everywhere. So what I'm deciding to do now is to shake it with the cap off, put my thumb on there, shake it that way, because these things are freaking leaking. That's an issue. Do you get that too? I was talking about it with Squirrel yesterday, and he says, yeah. Hey, Squirrel. We're just talking about you. Summoned once again. I was talking about the shaking these paints by holding your thumb over it instead, because man, well, these got something in it already. Look at that. It's already getting messy. They got something in there already. Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoy the speed paints a lot. Let me do this over here. What's going on, Vulture? Awesome. There they are. I'm not finishing the purity seal, but putting the red on now because I don't want it. I want it to dry. That's why I'm not painting them. We'll just do the parchment part and leave it. We'll get to the red some other time. Let me turn on my notification here. I like the idea of an old gamer's home. How you doing, Doug? You back? We would need to hire cleaning crews. Oh, they'd be expensive. They'd be expensive, Iron Man. Do you ever see the prices of some of these cleaning crews? Although I know one person who's actually in the business. Might get a deal. Might get a deal. They get paid good money. As they should. Alright, so we got some purity seals done. Let's grab another one. One we can actually see. You can see the little pallid bone there on his leg. That's all. These guys are turning out pretty nice. I like them. Little bit at a time. Building up the horde. I want to put a wash on the chest now. Tone that down. Professor DM today said to speed up play just to make up the numbers needed to hit and average damage. Make up the numbers to hit? Why would you do that when you got the stats right there in front of you? He plays 5e, right? Well, that's frickin' easy. 5e just gives you the armor class right there. That's all you need. Damage is already averaged. You don't have to roll. You can just give the average number. It's right there in the stat block. 5e does that. It also lists the damage dice roll if you want to roll it. Use numbers relative to the difficulty of the enemy. Well, let's look at Tales of the Valiant. That's based on 5e. Very similar. So let's look at this little stat block. Let's look at something that's easy to look at. Let's look at a goblin. A G G G D E F G G G G E F G. Goblin, goblin, goblin. I think I have it bookmarked, don't I? Cloud Giant. Goblins. Here we go, goblins. What's gnolls? Gnomes. Goblins. Here we go. So it starts off with bugbears, and then it goes into the goblins, and then hobgoblins. Nice artwork. So let's look at a goblin warrior. So this is the stat block, Tales of the Valiant, which is better than 5e's stat block, but extremely similar. There's the armor class right at the top, and it tells you what it is. But where's the damage? The weapon? Is that what I'm after? That's it. There's not a whole lot going on here. Is this the bugbear? It's the bugbear. So if it gives damage here, where is it? Spiked club. Melee weapon attack, +6 to hit. So you roll the d20 and add +6. You don't have to do any other math. Reach 5 feet, because that's what it has. It can hit somebody within 5 feet, so yeah, obviously. 1 target. Hit, 13 points, or you can roll it, 2d8 + 4. Piercing damage. But there's the average right there, 13. You could, that's your option, just give it 13 damage. 5e always did that. I always had this listed in there that way if you wanted to just do that. So that's where he's coming from. Nice little bookmark. Makes it mega convenient. Don't have to roll nothing. But dice are fun. I mean, come on, let's roll some dice. That keeps it, you know, fun. I'm always rolling dice. I know it, like with a lot of people, they say, oh, you should never roll dice all the time. You know, and that's true most of the time, you know. Oh, I go into the room and I look up in the corners of the walls. Do I see anything besides webs? Oh yeah, you automatically spot a big hole up there because you looked. There was no die roll. But you know, sometimes it's fun to roll the dice just because it's a game. Rolling dice is fun just to do to roll. Anyway, what do we got going here in the chat? You guys getting crazy again? Not listening to me? Talking amongst yourselves? Numbers relative to the enemy. Eliminate adding modifiers. Okay, I see. That's a little different. His point was you never look up stat blocks during play. Well, you don't have to if you don't want to. That's an easy way to do it. Maybe be a convention game. Maybe at a convention game. I like my stat blocks, to be honest with you. There's Squirrel Hermit. Arn. Doug. Hermitage. Nice to see. Jeff. James. No shame in that, says Squirrel. No shame at all. So what do you think of that? Alright, now I'm going to put a wash on these dudes. Strong tone. On the chest. Just the chest. Tone that off-white down a little. Maybe give it a little more shade than it already has. I caught up on my Instagram today, Squirrel. I saw some posts there that you had made. Good stuff. This leaks too, so let's give that the old thumb. It's funny, it took me all this while to figure it out. Why is this leaking so much? It's getting out of control. We'll highlight the bases a little too. Over here. It's a little toned down a little bit. There's another one. You can kind of see the difference there between this guy and this guy. Love my strong tone. Now we're rocking. That's it. My guys definitely fight better when they're painted better. Yeah, I think that's true. There we go. Boom. All right, a little bit more done today. So let's do a little close-up, see what they look like. I highlighted the weapons. I painted the purity seal, parchment part. I put white flecks in the eye sockets, and I painted the chest thingamajig. Finished that off. Let's see. Let's get a little bit of a close-up and turn up the freaking. Frick the brightness. Exposure. That's what I want. Let's get a little extra humph here. It's terrible. Man. Okay, there we got a little bit more. I get the exposure way up, so it's kind of choppy. Yeah, pretty good. Just got to highlight the bases a little bit. Purity seals? Yeah, you got the purity seals there. Yeah, pretty good. Thanks, Squirrel. It's good to get some positive feedback. Hey, they suck. They suck. You painted that wrong. They suck. Liquid Void is fantastic for the bases. I don't know why I laugh at that so much. The Liquid Void, it's so funny to me. It's so freaking dark. Just creating black holes, man. Everyone give a thumbs up. Yeah, we were talking about that. Little thumbs up, folks, always helps. Puts people in the feed, gets their videos shown, including mine. Including mine. It's nice to get it when there's a lot of people in here. How you doing, Matt? You need some Liquid Void in your life. Thanks, Matt. I was just joking. I was joking about getting criticism for your miniature painting. Like, here you go, folks. Look what I did. There they are. They suck. So I know some people get that result on Facebook. I've seen it. I've seen people get criticized that harshly. I mean, even if something isn't top notch because somebody's new to it, you don't sit there and say, that sucks. I've seen people say that to people. Yeah, that's freaking harsh. That guy usually gets piled on because you don't talk that way. You don't do that. I have a little respect. Cripes. Especially a newbie. Poor newbie will go home and cry and he'll never play again. Yeah, that speed paint worked good on the purity seal thing. Yeah, that's pallid bone. That's all. Yeah, some people do suck. It's a terrible thing, man. Terrible thing. I don't think I've ever been criticized harshly like that for my painting. But I have with my game choices. I've had people attack me. Oh, you play Flames of War? Ugh. You're one of those fantasy gamers. I've had that. I've had that. The one time a guy criticized my bazooka. I took a picture of one of my battles in Flames of War. I had a bazooka team coming up behind a tiger or something and blasting it away. It was a bazooka strike. And for effect, I put little tufts. I do that a lot with my pictures. I like to make it look, a little bit realistic. cloud bursts, not cloud bursts, but smoke bursts and stuff, even when there shouldn't be, you know. But I put the little tuft in front of the bazooka, which is a no-no. You got to put it to the rear because it's a bazooka. That's where the explosive goes. You know, you don't put it in the front. It's like, hey, you can't do that. And I remember Ian saw that and he jumped on the guy for saying that. Like, come on, lay off. It's not real. And that's where that whole idea came from. You know, we're always saying it's not real. Calm down. It's just make-believe here on the tabletop. Come on. That's where that came from. So yeah, that was the thing. Guy laid into me because I put a frickin' tuft in the front instead of the back. I think that same guy said, oh, they use smokeless ammunition. You know, you wouldn't see all that. That's unrealistic. How dare you? It's funny. You know, I just laugh at it, but man, Ian was right. It's like, relax, chill, man. It is make-believe. This isn't real. Some people, man, they get totally swallowed up by this. I'm caught up now, says CRT. Liquid Void is fantastic for bases. Yeah, we'll have to see. Some people suck. If it's painted, it's awesome. Yeah, just having paint on your miniatures is enough, right? I'm that way too. I tell people, you know, just even if it's, you know, crappy or just base coats, put something on that freaking thing before you take it to the table. I mean, if you're brand new, you just put your stuff together and you want to play, okay, you don't have to. I'll let it slide. But after your second or third or fourth or fifth or 10th game and you're still coming to the battle with half painted or just primed figures, no. I mean, I put all my effort into painting these, making them look good, for all of us to be immersed and enjoy. And all of a sudden you show up with something that's a total immersion breaker. The snow lizards. You know, come on, put some paint on them. Don't just prime them. After the 5th game, come on. Now let's highlight these bases a little. People are just plain ignorant anymore. It's sad. Says Zadarak. See, people suck. Yes, they do. Alright, I guess that's that. Put some clothes on, yeah, the paint, yeah. I mean, I think we can all let it slide when somebody's new and stuff, right? A little bit here and there, but eventually you gotta follow through and get some paint on these babies. They don't have to look good. They should. But come on. Let's get a little highlight going in there. Just a little bit. Doodly-doodly-doodly. Had fun yesterday in your stream. Squirrel, as always. That was a good time. Stayed on a little bit extra long. I didn't mean to do that, but I usually don't like to do that. I get tired and wore out from sitting in front of these freaking monitors, and my eyes start fogging up and just, but it was good. Backyard stream. That's good for me. So there's a little highlight, and that'll bring out the mud. Then we'll give it we'll throw some ink down on it to make it look like chemicals and stuff. Ugh, yuck, nastiness. Actually, I don't know if it looks like chemicals. Let's grab something. Let's use an ink. Scale color. I love scale color. This is intense chestnut. Let's use that one. That sounds fun. Oh, jeez. Are we clogged here? Yeah, we are. I love my inks. Do you love inks? Do you love inks? I love inks. I know Matt does. He's an inker. I love inks. You can do all kinds of crazy effects with inks. I like to use it for edge highlighting, actually. It works real good. You mix it in with the main color. You can really do some good edge highlight. What's going on here? Hold on. Oh. Snap the wire. There we go. That's all, just a little. Yeah, you could use little ink colors of blue or purple and just dab it on your bases and get some nice chemical effects. Looks pretty good. In this case, I'm just putting some chestnut on there. Just little dabs. Kind of break up that earthy color. It seems to be predominating my basage here. Just a little dabbage. Right, squirrel, little dabbage with the blabbage. One more. Yeah, I'm running out of ink. Come on. There we go. That's all. That's good. Now they're ready. Ready for the next stage. What happened to my OBS here? Unknown software exception. I don't think I'm going to OK this. It might shut my stream off. So I'm just going to let that sit there. 'Cause I'm still alive. No, I can't click on anything. Let me just read. I played against the Abstract Marauders last week. It was greatage. The Abstract? How you doing, Ryan? Ryan of Aqualith Media. Always lingering in the background. One mega stream every so often. Yeah. How long did we do that? How long was that? Did it hit 6 hours or was it 5 something? That was a long one. Now that I think about it, that is freaking long. I don't even usually do those. Sometimes I do. Usually like 3 or less. Doop doo. I wonder why I can't click on this. I could click on this stuff. Burp, burp. I can't click on the chat. Oh, wait a minute.
right-click on it. OBS browser page.exe application error. I think it has something to do with Chat Ninja. Somebody type something. If I click OK, is it going to shut my OBS off and kill my stream, or is it just going to shut Chat Ninja off? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to click it. So the next batch will be another 5 my intercessors. The other 5, I'll do the same thing to them. Do their chests. Paint the ribbons on their purity seals. Put specks of white in their eye sockets. Highlight their black weapons with some gray and white. The base and the wash and all that nonsense. That'll be enough. Then we'll move on to something else. I should work on my Terminators. The only thing I've done with my Terminators is give them a dry brush. Their armor is basically painted. They're these off-white behemoths on my table. That's it. Nothing else. They need some color. Actually, they're in a good spot for me to use speed paints on them. That's a good base color for speed paints, so yeah. And maybe I will pull them on the table after the other 5. Anyone for bones? Little doggy bones. All over the place, because you never know when you need a little doggy treat for the doggies. Got them all over the place. Let me check my stream chat here, because I'm not getting any messages. Not enough memory to open up the pop-out chat? All right, let me do some things here. My Chat Ninja died. So I can't use that anymore. I don't know why that died. Let me go back to YouTube. Jeez, I gotta reload that page. It's not showing up. Okay, let me get this going. Let me try and catch up on the chat here, because I've been missing it. Maybe my Chat Ninja will load now. No? Let me get rid of it. Docs. Chat Ninja. See if it reloads. Hello. Yeah, that worked. Okay. Let me go to YouTube and look at the chat, because I missed it all. I played against Abstract Marauders. Evening all. 1 mega stream. Ryan Squirrel, don't touch anything, Fritz. Click everything, Fritz. 5.55.59. I don't know what that's about, Squirrel. Those troops be looking good, sir. The little intercessors here? Thanks, Ryan. I think that's what you mean. Nobody else is showing miniatures. Yeah, they're coming along. I'm happy with them. I started painting these, I think, a couple of years ago. Finally getting back to them. I'm having a blast with 40K again. With Jesse and Jake, so I'm all in. So I got finally getting back to my figures here and doing a little more painting on them.
hopefully get on with my sisters at battle too. They're just waiting here. Always makes a better looking battle when you get your figures painted. Beefy, right? Yeah, these Primaris ones, they're big. They have extra gene seeds. That's what they got going on. That's why they're so big from the normal guys, the firstborn dudes. I like this guy. I need to do some more work on him. I like his dirty look. He's on the wrong size base though. I gotta put him on, well, basically one that's this big, 32. He's on an old school 25mm base. I want to put him on the bigger bases like they should be, which will be easy to do. I'll just put him on top of, say, a piece of card, or what do I have that I could put him on that'll make this base bigger? Huh, maybe an old credit card. I got one right here in front of me. Just cut it out a perfect circle, glue him on there, and then spackle it up. It's only a couple extra millimeters around the perimeter here. Yeah. Yeah, man. Still got my dwarfs here. Boy, I over highlighted these in preparation for speed paints. But yeah, this 3D printed guy, man, came out really nice. That's a manic guy. This is a one-page rules print, which fits perfectly with Mantic stuff, or any space dwarfs really. They got that look, you know. Yeah, they're still setting up here. I don't know when I'll get to that. Let's see, I got a new red here too, not this one. I don't know if I want to try it on this. This is blood red. I really like this blood red. The other red I have is slaughter red. And I'm going to use the blood red. And I'm going to paint the wax seal for the purity seal. I'll do that now. I wasn't going to do it, but I'll do it now. should be a good shake. Shaka shaka. Let us see. Get my brush back again. This one. Yeah, I'll put this on. Let's see. I want to add a little color to them and get this red going. Give me a second here. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, see that? That's pretty nice. I like it. It's a perfect red. I have 3D printed tops for each paint, glued them on and used the primer I predominantly use and painted them. 3D printed tops. Give one an excellent visual of the actual paint. Huh. Excellent. Would you buy them? 3D? You don't have a 3D printer, do you? I don't think you do. Somebody 3D printed them for you, maybe? Just a spot here. Okay, that's another one done. Looking good. Just gotta be careful this paint doesn't go flowing where it shouldn't. Because it is a fluidity paint, isn't it? Painting these small areas, you kind of gotta be careful you don't put too much of this stuff on your brush tip. It just floods an area and just goes where it shouldn't. Like these purity seals, I'm laying these guys on their sides here so it don't flow down onto the parchment part. Just let it kind of settle. Yeah, that looks great. I really like that. Oh, I don't know. I'm really impressed by speed paints. I just started using them not long ago. Yeah, did a bunch of test pieces and it has sped up my painting. Unlike Matt, it has sped up my painting 3 to 5 times faster. Because you know I love to layer paint. I am a slow go type painter. I actually paint my models. And I still don't consider using speed painting. Sorry, but I don't. But man, it's a useful tool in the shed. Serves its purpose, for me anyway, and I get some cool effects with it. I'm very impressed by how it looks. Very good results. Yeah, and right now, in my case, this is what I'm after, something that gets things done quickly because I basically have no collections of models currently. I'm in the process of starting all over. Much like Matt. So, I'm not going to fuss over the details. Get things out and about and on the tabletop. Get a little inspiration to do more. And the cycle begins. Bought them. I thought you did. You should have a 3D printer. I think everybody should have at least an FDM printer. So freaking useful in our hobby. I don't think it should ever replace the crafting side of our hobby. Because you want to be able to make your own stuff, right? Out of cans and toothpicks and sticks and twigs. Because that's, the personal touch. That's the crafting side of the hobby. We don't ever want to lose that. You know what I mean, Squirrel. You do it all the time. But it's nice to have that little machine that could pump out some spare parts of something that you need, or something convenient, or something you don't want to spend a lot of time on, but looks beautiful. Maybe you need a battle with 3 bridges, and you don't want to make 3 of them. You got 1, so I'm going to 3D print them. And they look pretty cool, too, with skulls on the edges and, that whole thing. Just 3D print it. Or bases. Get 3D print your bases with FDM. Or maybe you want to 3D print some objective markers for your army. There. We did that too. Can't really see it. What's next on these? The metallic highlights on the weapons, and some touch-ups and some decals in the eyes. Little things. But these guys will be on the tabletop next weekend. And I think they look pretty damn good. Let me show this off. Is that a video? That's what you're working on. Fire Drake. Look at all those good speed paints. Oh, this is what you were talking about. Ah. Oh. So this little... Okay, I see what you're saying. It tells you the color of the paint. That's pretty freaking good. That is a good idea.
like little crystals. Well, that's a really good idea. I like that. And it fits right on the top. You just glue it on the top. Huh. There they are, the knights of the dinner table. From Tally-Ho. Yeah, they look good. I like him. He's got the full chain barding on the horse. Boy, that's heavy. Yeah, I like that idea. I could probably find something similar to print. For free, even. It's a really good idea. There's the crossbows. Pin in the ash. So tiny. And there's that black hole. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's unsettling. You can see just by the picture, it's so dark. Look at that. It's just scary. I don't know, man. I'm not actually logged into Discord, am I? There we go. There I am. Playing OBS Studio. That's funny. Discord's giving it away. Hi, Nerdy Ogre. Been a while. Yeah, it has. About 3 weeks. James is being chased by an old Korean lady. I haven't lost him to the void yet. I don't know, Zeddy. I don't know. You can hear screams from the basement. A loud crash followed by screams of horror and terror. You'll rush down and you'll look over to his little desk. You'll see him being pulled into his table, grabbing at the edges of the table, screaming, "Help! It's pulling me in!" Gone. Does Zeddy save him? Or she let him go? Do you mind if I pop in? Or are you ready for Snackingtons? I'm ready to call it quits. I'll bring you in for a couple minutes. No problem. So prepare yourself, folks. James is being attacked by a little Korean lady. I forgot how to do this. Go to the green room. I'll drag you in right now. I gotta get in there. Go to the green room. Go to the green room. Okay, give me a second. Let me turn the camera on. camera's not working. All right, here's James. There you go, James. You're in. There he is.
Hello.
Gained a little weight, did you?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, it could just be the angle of my phone because I'm like walking. Maybe I've always been this fat. I don't know.
Could be.
Certainly eating healthy. So I try not to worry about those things too much as long as I'm moving around and eating well.
Where's the little old lady? Where is she?
I shook her off. She was
Lose her in the brush.
behaving a little bit. There's a lot of weird people around here. She was tailing me. I had an old lady offer some very personal services to me through my fence the other day, and I was like gobsmacked. I was like, this area is changing, man.
Yeah,
You know?
sounds like it. Graves.
Yeah, everyone in my building is getting security cameras now. But yeah, I just called to say I love you. As what's his face? I just called to say.
Uh-huh.
But also I really liking those Stargrave miniatures.
Yeah.
They hit the spot. They hit that spot of like it's near future, but it's not so futuristic that it's like inconceivable, and it's human centric, but you get a lot of alien heads. Monocular.
Which one is it? Which box is it?
Well, the one that came was Troopers, which is like the most generic. They're almost like it's almost like a box of Cadians, right? Like they're like tactical kind of armor and stuff. And you know, they're much more generic and kind of militaristic. But I've got crew number 2 coming, which is like lady aliens and scavengers. And I was like, I'm not buying more than 3 boxes of miniatures for a 10-a-side skirmish game because that's crazy. You know? But yeah, those are the 3 I got. Troopers, Crew 2, and Scavengers. The Scavenger sprue has undead heads on it.
Yeah.
So you can do like undead, like zombie mining prospectors kind of thing.
Uh-huh. Like Plague.
It's pretty funky. Pretty funky. Yeah, exactly, like the Plague. But Mantic has enough of my money right now.
What
I
else?
got a bunch of Kings of War stuff.
Yeah, you did. Now that's not a skirmish game, so what are you thinking?
It's not, but when you buy it in like the relatively small quantities that I do, you know that's how it's going to end up being used. Yeah. Like for me, it's just a cheap source of like everything's miniatures agnostic to me. I'm not interested in anything that's like tied to a property really for the property. I'm much more interested in like what stories I can make up with it, you know? Even if they're just silly little, it's not like I can come up with GW lore, you know, or something like that. But it just, I'm much more into like doing my own thing, you know, like, but I mean, even the Kings of War stuff, it's very specific, like it's very high fantasy, but across a few boxes, you can get quite a variety of like creatures and humans and stuff. When they do the more traditional factions, I think when they refresh the older traditional fantasy factions, then they're going to eat everyone's lunch. Don't you reckon?
I think so. Give it time.
Yeah. Because that's their weak spot, I think. Is is like, you know, elves, dwarves. Not so much goblins, but the older undead. Wet undead, not dry undead.
That's what it is.
I have the dry undead. I got the starter set with the ogres and the skeletons in it. Yeah, Sands of Almond box. But yeah, outside of those Stargrave minis, it's not actually that easy to find good sci-fi figures that aren't basically aping Grimdark, which is interesting. It's like they really had the market cornered.
That's true. There's some STL
You know.
printables. There's more in that market, but even there's a lot of grimdark stuff, more than the hard sci-fi that we're talking about.
Yeah, it's less common. I also kind of like a bit of the like rockets and ray guns, kind of 50s atomic kind of style as well. Like, there's a few things like that kicking around, but you know, that pulpy kind of sci-fi, I quite like elements of that. But yeah, less common. And some of the War Games Atlantic stuff, like I quite like their their fantasy and their historical, but their sci-fi is really just like mostly historical themed. And if I were to do something like that, I would probably just kit bash it and in a much smaller quantity. Like I'd do like a 5-man squad of sci-fi Napoleonics if I really wanted to. I probably wouldn't go out and buy like a full kit of it. I'd just do it as an experiment. But you know, like sci-fi redcoats and stuff, that's kind of fun, I guess. But their zombies kit is amazing, by the way. You need it.
I saw it.
You actually need it.
All kinds
If
of
I get a good job in the next like few months, I'm gonna send it to you. Like, it's that good.
Yeah.
It's that damn good.
Yeah, there's a lot of them in there.
Like,
I think the
30.
highlight of the box is the fact that they give you all those heads, more than you need, but they're different genres of zombies.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
There's like Shaco heads and heads with the star helm, and
Otherwise, they're pretty generic, so you could use them for anything.
yeah, the bodies and arms are just like, I don't know. You know, it just looks like me. Just put on a few pounds.
How's Ree? How is she doing?
She's doing pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah.
She's temping at the moment, and I might join her in a little bit. Make some extra cash.
Yeah, good.
Keep the oils wheeled. I know it sounds like I'm just buying stuff like crazy, but I always sell stuff off. You know what I mean? I sold off a lot of board games. I concluded that a lot of the board games that I'd kind of bought for like PVC monsters and stuff like that, they just weren't that nice. You know? I was like, these aren't that much fun to like clean up or paint. So, yeah, keeping the collection tight. You know, I'm just doing rank and flank fantasy, sci-fi skirmish, and black powder skirmish, and that's it at the moment.
That's decent.
I could see myself adding Dark Angels in the future.
Dark Ages?
That's about it. Yeah, but I don't want to just do like you know, Normans and Vikings, or I'd like to do something like Welsh and Saxons or
Picts.
You know, maybe late Romans and Goths.
Mm-hmm. Britons. That's what I like.
But even that, I kind of would do like not a mass battle. I like these little projects now where I'm just buying like 2 boxes of minis aside, and I'm like, how do I spin that out into like 4 or 5 units? You can kind of do that with some of those historicals, you know, even the North Star stuff. They give you a lot of figures. That's why I stopped at like 3 boxes for Stargrave, because I was just like, I'm really going to need more than 60 miniatures to play this game. I really doubt it. You know? Crew is usually like 5 to 10, from what I gather so far.
What about 5 parsecs? You thinking about doing that?
Well, I have that rule book. I did keep it,
That's fun.
and it's even better, I think. But I'm using Stargrave as the template for like building my war bands, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The 5 parsecs is an even better rule set, I think. Probably take some of the scenario ideas from Stargrave and play 5 parsecs with it.
Being solo, it's perfect for you. You can have a lot of games there. Tell a lot of stories on your table.
The funny thing is, it's the weirdest thing. I don't see a lot of my old friends very much, but it's so easy to pull them into a Cthulhu style game or a sci-fi game compared to a fantasy game. I don't know what it is about that group of friends, but they all love sci-fi and they all love Cthulhu and like pulp and stuff, but they're really lukewarm on fantasy for the most part.
Take advantage of it, man. Get him in. Get him into it. Run one of
I'm
those
gonna take. Are you
RPGs.
kidding? I'm gonna take what I can get. I've already created a little Discord for them. They don't know what Discord is. They're just like, oh, what's this? Wait, this is where we're gonna run our little adventure.
Do it. Oh, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, I've already started work on it, and it's funny because like if you're used to reading rule books, total party skills is not complicated. Like it's 3 stats, like mind, body, spirit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's 3d6 in like is, you know, whether you kind of 1d6, 2d6 or 3d6 with a kind of ascending level of difficulty for things. But that's literally the hard limit of what they can process. They're just like, oh my god, it's so complicated. It's like, you don't know the half of it. It's like, it's all downhill from here, my friends. But I kind of reassured them. I said, look, we're going to lay a few ground rules. Like, it's just an excuse for us to have a couple of beers while chatting in the middle of winter, because it's getting quite cold here. And I'm not going to be an adversarial DM. Like, I just want it to be fun and funny for them. I want it to be amusing for them. I don't necessarily want to work them really hard, you know, like. So, you know, I'm going to be using my little books of tables and stuff. I have so many RPG, you know, GM emulators. Finally, a chance to use them. You know? So, yeah, they seem quite excited about that. They're like, oh, I've never done this before, but sure, that sounds like really, really fun.
How many of them is there that are going to play?
There's 2 confirmed and like 1 maybe. Actually, no, there's 3 confirmed and 1 maybe. So we have enough, really, to like pull it off. Get some in the supermarket.
Well, good. That'll be fun.
Like a little Lego man. But I can't see my own camera, so I just have to presume you can see the dairy aisle.
I could see it.
It's the world's worst supermarket. It's truly terrible. But yeah, they seem really pumped for it. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll come up with something. Have never really done it before. I've only played D&D back in the day.
Yeah.
Role playing is like really low on the list of things to think about usually. You know,
Mhm.
it's much more of a board gamer and like miniature war gamer, right? But
Are they
I
all
think it'd be
dudes?
fun.
Or you got some ladies in the mix?
Well, Ree really wants to play.
Oh, yes. Yes.
In fact, she was a bit upset because she thought, oh, I don't appear to be on the, he appears to be organizing this around me sort of thing. I'm like, no, we'll find a way of slotting you in. So she's quite keen. Because we're not... When I sent them the rule, like I sent them the rules PDF and stuff, and I was like, just skim it. Just skim it. It's not like we're going to use every rule in the book, like at all. We're just going to use the core mechanic of like, how do I resolve a challenge, right? It's like what you were saying about rolling dice earlier. We'll roll dice when it's appropriate to roll dice. We won't do it for like, do you pick up your jacket? Oh, you failed. It's stuck there on the ground forever.
And who else? You got Ree. And what is it? A bunch
I
of
got Ree,
dudes?
I got my old bass player, who's like a school teacher now, and I got my friend he's like a guy I used to work with, and he used to be like a corporate executive, and he kind of like became like a massive hippie, and now he's an astrologer. So he's really into it. He's like, that sounds like heaps of fun. But yeah, his day job is like reading ladies' palms.
Wow.
So yeah, and then my other friend is the guy who I made music with off and on for years, a South American guy. And he actually has experience playing D&D, like back in the 80s. Which is pretty cool.
Good.
So yeah, I think
that could be like a gateway for him, and maybe you can slip in some miniatures in the future.
They'll never commit to that sort of thing. But if you put it in front of them, they'll do it. You know what I mean?
This hobby is addicting, man.
What's really cool is like, I realized because we talk to each other over such a big distance, is like some of these guys are not even in my city anymore, About half of them are in another city. So Discord enables us to, do that. I was like, why am I not doing this in my own time zone? It's crazy. Makes sense. At least I don't think we're going to make a regular thing out of it, but I think it's just a one-off that we do like maybe every winter. I think it could be quite popular. Yes, I'm in the baked goods section. I'm like slavering like a dog. Look at all these lovely cakes.
Are you shopping or are you just going in to...
Well, I came in to buy a loaf of bread, but I'm kind of like just walking around showing you how crappy Australian supermarkets are. But I'll let you get on. Like, I just came to like chew your ear off because you're not on that much anymore. You've got other stuff going on. You're working, integrating some new next door neighbors and all of that. So it's good to drop in and say hi.
It's just Jesse.
Yeah.
But Jake will be around every weekend, which is really fantastic. He's really getting into the hobby.
Yeah, well, it'll be good for him too. And, it's good to have a second pair of hands on the property, I imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Especially because Jesse, is quite infamous for his cooking and stuff.
Yep, that's true.
That'd be nice.
And he talks about that.
I've stopped torturing myself with like food. Like, you know, when you like haven't cooked and you're like, maybe I should cook something, and you're watching a cooking show and getting hungrier and hungrier.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell am I doing this for? Get up and make some toast. Yeah.
Toast.
Try not to
Exactly.
do.
Put a little cheese on the toast. There we go. We're all
Yeah,
set.
yeah, exactly. Goodness. But I'll let you go because I feel like I'm just
All right,
gonna
James.
chew your ear off otherwise.
All right, James.
But, thanks for saving me from the old Korean lady.
Yeah,
Feel much safer.
you are welcome. Stay safe.
All right. Take care.
Talk to you soon, my friend. Bye-bye. To lose. Hit the button.
Oh, there we go.
There he goes. There he goes, folks. That's James. Lord Yams from down under. The Dark Angels are looking good. I see them better when I put them on camera. I keep the house so dark I don't actually see all these details. I can actually see them. Every so often can be a good thing. Yeah, I know this hobby though. You know, sometimes people they don't know about this hobby, you know, and it's just like a big experience when they experience playing one of these games. Some people, you know, they just get like, wow, where has this been all my life? I want to do this again. And that's how they get in the hobby. You never know. You could be playing more often. As I file my fingernails. They're in need of a little filage. Getting out of control here. Helps my OCD. So tomorrow's going to be another warm day, beautiful day. We'll see if I do another stream tomorrow, because I do these streams when I'm painting. So as long as I'm painting, I usually hit the old button and let's do a little stream so you guys can keep an eye out. I'm getting back in the flow here. I want to work on my Dark Angels a little bit, and then eventually I want to get into my Sisters of Battle, my real army. Because I just enjoy them so much. So I'll be doing a lot of that, I think. That's what I am inspired to do at the moment. Let's see where we go from there. There they go. Forward, brothers. We shall remember. Anyway. Alright, folks, I'm going to call it here, I guess. We're all getting a little bit tired. It's 9:38. Holy smokes. I didn't realize that. So I'm going to call it here. Then maybe back on probably tomorrow. So you guys take care of yourself. Thanks for joining me. Keep me company, nerdy. I appreciate it. Haven't seen you in a while. Squirrel, as always, Zadarrock. Always look forward to you guys popping in and keeping me company. Ryan Aquilith, I know you're always there lingering. I know you are. It's good to hear you once in a while.
And everybody else, Iron Man, all you guys, I appreciate you popping in, keeping tabs on us maniacs here, including Squirrel's channel. He does his streams every once in a while. I look forward to those. You'll see me over there too every once in a while when he does them and invites people on his restream. Yeah, restream. Yeah, it worked out pretty good. Worked out pretty good. I might do one tomorrow. Well, there you go. Myself, what does that say? Mayhap? We shall paint and blabber with one another. Mayhap? Maybe. Maybe we shall paint and blabber with one another. Yeah, that'd be great. I'll keep my eyes open. If you want to do one, I'll go over there. I'd rather do that, actually. Have a great evening, all, says Zadarok. You take care of yourself. I hope you had a wonderful evening meal. I'm sure you guys ate already. I'm going to cook up something. Probably more potatoes. And ramens. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for joining, folks. We're going to see you next time. And James, of course, you take care of yourself and be safe. So until next time, folks, you guys hang in there. And you know why. It's only going to get better. And I'll talk to you soon.